Some of the rust damage on a 140 high clearance that I bought a few months ago. I'm going to try to see if I can repair any of it. Got a leak in the gas tank where it's rubbing on the hood there. More rust there and across the front. And then up here on top of the nose cone there's a lot of rust. This side's in pretty fair shape. The grill on the front is pretty eat up, but I don't know if I'm going to try to fix that or probably replace it. Around on this side we got some more rust out on the nose cone here, and there's the top again. A little bit of rust through here where the hooks are at, front and back. And right up there is where the hood was bent in and rubbed on the gas tank and damaged the gas tank. And all I can figure is whoever put this muffler on bent this hood up in order to get that bracket down as far as they could go. I bent the muffler up the other day trying to knock it off of the pipe. I'm going to try this morning, see if I can get a screwdriver wedged in that slot there and open those flanges up, and maybe I can get it all the way off this time. Thanks for watching. This is the hood off of my 140 tractor that had some rust and stuff coming through the sheet metal. You can see up here, this is what it looked like before I started the electrolysis process yesterday, and this is what it looked like after about 20 hours of electrolysis. I spent about 4 hours sanding on this, trying to get through the primer and all with a 100 grit double action sander, and finally decided to try the electrolysis. And this is what you get after electrolysis. So I'll turn this over, let the other side soak, and hopefully come back and wire brush it off too. But I knew that if I didn't get the paint off, there was rust under all of this paint, and I was going to wind up with the same problem in another couple of years of the rust bubbling up underneath the paint and destroying the paint job that I put on it. So I decided to go with the electrolysis and see how it worked. And as you can see, it works really well. Thanks for watching. Good morning. Last year I bought a Farmall 140, and I don't know if the sheet metal's thinner or what on it, but anyway, it had a lot more rust issues on the 140 than I have on any of my AVs or Super A or 100. Anyway, just going to rebuild this nose piece and make a new hood for it. And for what I paid for the tools, I was able to buy the tools and the 4x8 sheet of sheet metal for less money than they wanted for this piece right here. Found the tools on the 3-in-1 shear brake roller on Facebook Marketplace for 150 bucks, and I paid $100 for the crimp die roller here that I made up to fit in the receiver on the back of my truck. But anyway, it's pretty sturdy there. But as you can see, had some pretty severe rust issues. That's the hole in the gas or the front nose cone for the radiator piece, and everywhere there's a seam all the way around this nose piece. You can see it just rusted out, corroded all along the edges of the crimps. Was just terrible. I first thought about I was going to patched this up with some Bondo with fiberglass in it. But once I started removing the paint and doing some electrolysis to try to get down to bare metal, I could tell that this thing needed to be either replaced or repaired. And like I said, I'm electing to try to learn some new skills. I've never done any sheet metal work or metal fabrication other than a little bit of light welding and stuff here at the house. But this is what the hood looked like. It's got lots of holes in it, rusted around that right there. All of the edges are rusted up bad, and the hooks are in pretty bad shape, so I'm even going to try to fabricate some of those. Anyway, just wanted to show some progress that I've got made so far. Been working on the top of the nose cone. That nose cone's in, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 pieces. But this will be the nose cone. Was able to roll those bends there with the rollers on the top of this 3-in-1 roller brake shear. Did the same thing with the hood, but by tightening these wing nuts on the top and forcing this top, excuse me, not there, that's where you take the roller out. Trying to find where the adjustment is for that. Been a couple of months since we did this, but anyway, you adjust these rollers so that you're pinching the metal between the 3 rollers, and the tighter you clamp it down, the tighter the radius is on your bend. But I would imagine 1.25 1.5 inches would be the smallest bend that you can make. But anyway, this is the nose cone. Used the shear to make the 90-degree bend here on the sides. Then I took the flat step down die and made this step down like the original hood, where the hood sits down on this piece. And then I used a bead rolling die and only inserted the metal halfway to the middle of the bead roller, and was able to get that nice curved lip like was on the original one. Still got a little bit of planishing, I guess you'd call it, to shrink those high spots down there, but was actually surprised at how well it was coming out, just tapping on it with a little 8-ounce ball peen and using a piece of metal backer to try to shrink that down to make that curve. But it adds a whole lot of strength to that piece of metal. Got the hood here. I've still got to cut the radiator cap for the nose piece there. Have to cut the exhaust exit for this, and I've got to roll these edges here so that it will stiffen this hood up. Right now you can see it's pretty flimsy, but like I said, once you roll this edge, it adds quite a bit of rigidity to that hood. Over here I've got the bottom of the box for the nose piece that I folded on the brake and formed it up. That'll be on the base, and these 2 pieces here will are the side pieces of the nose piece, and still got some finishing work to do there. Made those 90-degree bends on the brake with that same roll along this edge here to add that stiffness or whatever. And then on this side That'll get welded down. I'm going to take this the very front piece of this, and I will cut along this edge, probably 1/4 of an inch back or whatever, and I will either MIG or TIG weld this piece back to this front piece here where the grill bolts in. That's too complicated of bends and whatnot. I don't know if I'd be able to replicate that, but there's very little damage on this piece and also this top front piece. They'll get a little bit of Bondo on them to prep for paint, and then primed and painted when I get all these pieces made. Anyway, just wanted to show you what was going on, and that I think it is doable. Like I said, I've got, I don't know, $150 for the 30-inch 3-in-1 brake roller and shear, and then I got the 18-inch bead roller off of Temu for $109. I don't think I could have bought the metal and the gears, much less made the dies for that price. So I thought that was a bargain. But like I said, when I called around, everybody was wanting I think $350 for that nose piece, and some of them were bent, had rust on them. So like I said, I decided I'm gonna go make it myself. Back on the 140 nose piece this morning, and welded some parts up yesterday afternoon with the help of my son. Anyway, got things a little messed up. Got the sides welded on, and then I welded the top curve piece that goes on the over the radiator on. But instead of butting this joint up here even, I should have set it back, and this piece here should have been even with the bottom here. So I'll have to cut the spot welds out, just drill those out, and set that back and redo it. Also, when I went to put this piece in, which is, I'm saving this original nose piece and the 2 side pieces off of the original nose cone, because they're a little too complicated for me to bend with the little bit of experience that I've got, because this is the only sheet metal work I've ever done, to be honest with you. But anyway, I've got some gaps. I've got too much length here to the sides, even though I measured the curve along this top piece up here. I measured all that with a cloth tape measure that my wife uses for sewing. I'm still off by probably 1/8 of an inch on each side. Don't know how that happened or why it happened. Probably something to do with measuring the inside versus the outside or whatever, but it is what it is. Anyway, when I cut the welds out, I'll straighten those 90-degree bends back out and move them back in 1/8 of an inch on each side probably, and hopefully that'll take up the amount of slack that I need in order to get my tight radiuses here on the fit, and everything will fit up a lot better. But like I said, everything else was just such bad shape or whatever. I elected not to try to Bondo it or weld in any patch pieces, any of that. Just decided I was going to make a new one. Couldn't justify spending $700 plus shipping on 2 new pieces. I'll be back with more work when it's completed. Thank you. It's the next day, back to working on the nose cone. I don't remember if I showed the spot welds drilled out yesterday or not, but had to go back and drill out 4 or 5 spot welds on each side, take the 2 pieces apart, dolly all the bent metal, because it was slightly bent, back together so I could get as tight as fit as I could. But the whole problem was because I took this upper section here and had it squared up with the front of the piece, when I should have had my rolled lines here for the hood to go on lined up at the back of the piece. So little error in judgment there, and it cost me a day's work on trying to get this thing back together. Anyway, going to spot weld it back together with my TIG welder. Learned a new process on YouTube. I think it was Goozy. Shoot, can't remember his name now, but I'll try to find it and link it in the video when I put it in. But he said you blunt one end of your tungsten, stick it back inside the cup about a 1/16 of an inch. Turn your amperage on your TIG welder. I know you can't see that, but anyway, he said turn it up to about 110. 110 was a little too hot on mine. I turned it down to 100, and the spot weld was only maybe 1/8 of an inch. So I turned it back up to 105, and it's doing great. But anyway, like I say, you blunt your electrode, stick it back inside the glass about a 1/16 of an inch, and then give it full pedal. Put the glass directly down on the top layer of the two pieces you're trying to weld together. Put the glass down on the top piece. Hold it for about 3 seconds wide open on the pedal, and release the pedal. And 3 seconds gives you a perfect fuse. No bumps to grind off with MIG welding or any of that. I tried that on the bottom nose cone, and it was a nightmare trying to get all that cleaned up down in there. So I was looking for a better process. I'm not a welder. If I were a welder, I would have been able to do a better job, but like I say, I'm not a welder. I'm just a tinker and player around. I bought these welding machines probably 10 or 15 years ago. Got another Miller underneath all that stack of stuff there that I paid $1,200 for. It's probably a $2,500 or $3,000 machine at the time new, but anyway, like I said, I can do the MIG welding on 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch plate, but this sheet metal is just kicking my butt. Anyway, hope that helps somebody, and hope to get this posted soon. Good morning, Friday morning, trying to get these side pieces for the nose piece on my 140 ready to weld in. I did cut these pieces and the very front top off of the old nose piece, but everything else is being made new. You can see this one's kind of halfway there. Still got some cleanup to do on the back side here, getting all of this old paint and everything out of it, ready to try to butt weld it in. I've never done any butt welding with TIG or MIG. Tried doing some spot welding with MIG, and it was a total disaster, so I went to my TIG welder, and having a little better success with it. But anyway, just wanted to show you this update. Thanks, have a good day. Friday's past, Saturday afternoon, I've been working on welding this piece in here all morning. I had to MIG it in spots where the old sheet metal was too thin, had rusted out. Anyway, did a little bit of MIG welding on that to build it up there, and then most of the rest of this I was able to TIG weld. I'm not a welder, never professed to be, but I think I prefer MIG to TIG. When you get that kind of MIG build up and splatter, it takes forever to grind through it, wears out a lot of sanding disc. Another MIG weld there, another one there, but the TIG welds there, and up here are a lot flatter, and also the weld's a lot milder, not quite as hard of a steel as the MIG welding for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, it's a lot easier to grind down and doesn't leave as much build up and splatter. But anyway, that's schedule 18, and the old nut piece of the nose cone that I had to weld to there is probably, I'm going to guess, 16 gauge. Like I said, I cut about a 2-inch piece off of the front, saved the original top of the nose cone there, and anyway, still got this side over here to cut back and fit in the old piece to take care of that. But anyway, it's a work in progress. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon. Just wanted to post an update on the progress I've made so far on the nose piece for the 140. Like I said, I'm not a welder, don't profess to be, never have done any kind of sheet metal welding at all, and it's been kicking my fanny from start to finish. This isn't finished yet, but it's probably 90% done. Tried to do TIG welding on it because the MIG welding was just, I don't know, leaving all kinds of craters and mountains and everything else that had to be ground down. Metal work and more work than it was taken care of. But anyway, got all this welded up last night. I'm going to make a new screen to go in the front of it once I find a piece of perforated metal that's suitable. I got the other side welded up yesterday, but last night I was welding this side up and everything was going real good till I got to right here, and you can see there's a hole probably a 1/2 inch by 3/4. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and finally got up and was going to quit for the night, and went to turn my bottle of argon off and realized I had run completely out of argon. So when you don't have any cooling gas, then that's what happens. It pretty much overheats and blows holes through your work. But anyway, like I say, it's definitely better than what I had when I started, and get it all braced up, get that screen in her. She'll be 110% better than she was when I started. The only piece of this that's the original is this piece here on the side, the top of the nose cone, and then the piece on the right hand side here that the screen for the radiator mounts to. I haven't been able to find that perforated metal to make the screen out of yet, but I'll find something. Thanks for watching.